you know, now we're talking business. I feel that every b-boy in the world should not do things unless they're getting paid. Poppers, lockers, anything that has to do with the culture of hip-hop. If any big organization, Red Bull, any big organization calls you and they want to do something, unless they're ready to give you $50,000 cash, euros, or whatever that is, I wouldn't even talk to them. What's the point of them giving you, you know, a little Red Bull floor for you to dance on, or giving you 200 euros to be the background dancer in the video? This is my opinion again. This is something that I feel bad. That's why street dancers are always in the background and are not being respected or paid, because you got people doing it for $20 just to be in a video. I was offered to be in this MC's video. I don't want to say the name. I don't know who he is. I said, I'll do it, but I have to be dancing by myself or right behind the main artist, and I need to get paid $15,000. If you can't pay that, I'm not even interested in doing it. And they paid it. And it was me with the MC. It wasn't me in the background with 5 other dancers looking like a clown. It was literally me. You know, I had my hat down. You can't really see my face because I didn't want them to see my face. But it's all opinions on what you want to do. I could give you an advice, 100 different advices, but what you're going to do is the difference. You know, same thing with promoters that put on events. I could tell them what I think they should do and what they shouldn't do, but it just doesn't matter. B-boys have to be, poppers, lockers, have to be looked at as professional dance athletes. There's no reason why Tony Hawk, who's a skateboarder, can make millions and millions of dollars. There's no reason why the winner of a big competition can't be endorsed by Nike and make millions of dollars. And the reason they're not is because b-boys allow themselves to be in shitty competitions that take advantage of you. I think it's great to go to Juste Debout. I have a good time. I love Bruce. But it's really not doing anything for you. It's not. You go in, you do your competition. Hey, I did this, I won this, and it's over. It would be nice if you could win a competition and it could be televised, just like skateboarding, rollerblading, anything that came from the urban street scene, and make a lot of money. Because in turn, every dancer that becomes a celebrity and makes money, when his career is over, he could open a dance school. Just like MMA fighters. Fighters are fighters. Nobody cared about them. Now it's a very well-respected sport that's taken over even the boxing industry. Every fighter, there's been hundreds of champions. You don't hear them anymore, but they all have a school. Again, these are opinions I'm throwing out.
I have a couple of questions as well, Mr. Freeze.
Can I just ask one on that? This is what you try to do with your event, like you told me in the car, right? To make like...
I want, with the event I'm going to do, for me, my interest is that it becomes, that it's not a lucrative thing just for me and that's it, because that doesn't work. For that, it's easy. I'll do one every 3 months and make money, and the hell with everything else. It has to be because it's a part of my life and the existence of it. I don't like that people look at breakers, or, well, not anymore, but used to look at breakers as the garbage of the dance world. It bothers me. And that's what they looked at us as. And the reality is we're not. We're teachers, we're lawyers, we're doctors, this is what we choose to do. We're b-boys. I would like, or at least, whether it's my event or anybody does it, makes it where now these incredible street dancers that have dedicated their life to something they love have another outlet to have a career, and have other people that can't do it and that would be excited to watch it. I don't want to be a skiing champion, go down a slope at 100 miles an hour, but I do like watching it. And it's nice that the people that do it could make a lot of money doing it and be, acknowledged for it. There's the NBA, there's the National Baseball League, there's all types of leagues, there's football leagues, there's everything. There's every type of a paying competition, but for the dancer, there's nothing. It's only about the promoter and the sponsors. Red Bull does a great competition. Not the way I would do it. It's not really a B-boy competition, but it's not about the dancers, it's about Red Bull. You remember, it's Red Bull, BC1. There's breakers in it, but who knows who the breakers are? You know who Lilu is, but it's not really the champion because he does Benji's moves. So nothing is really proportioned right, at least in the way I see things. Okay, you want to stop making that noise? Anyway, so I feel that I think the B-boys should have an outlet to really have a competitive chance to be sponsored. We wear sneakers, we wear jeans, we wear underwears, we wear socks. You know, I like to wear a Rolex. You know, there's marketing things you could do with Rolex. We like to drive Escalades. You know, we're like normal people too. We just our athletic abilities is in dance. We like everything that all the high-end people like. So there's no reason why the corporate industry can't see and go, this would be interesting to do this for, you know, my watch or the car company or whatever. So I hope to change that. I hope.
Mr. Freeze, you know, in the hip hop today, especially in Norway, people got so used to taking classes the whole time.
Right.
And when I watch people dance here in Norway, I feel like they're all
Robots.
Yeah, robots, and also products of their teachers the whole time.
Right.
You know, I see what their teachers do. I see them do the whole time. I see the same flavor, the same movement, and I think in some ways workshops are important from people that actually have something different to give to them.
Right.
Like when you come here and you give a history of a foundation where you were actually a part of,
right,
where you actually felt yourself.
Right.
But then there are people that only go and take class and want to become these great dancers out of that. You know, and like you said, the whole element of surprise is gone because you don't see a personality in that person no more. You just see a product of somebody else. When you yourself sit down and judge things like that, well, what does it give to you when you see somebody that you just see them do good moves, but do you feel them? Do you connect with them? Do you hear their story out? Or is it just somebody that is like everybody else? How do you feel when you look at that?
When I see a teacher teaching, or when I see a competition?
Like when you see, for example, B-boys in a battle, that you just feel like you've seen that before. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah. Well, you should ask the judges next to me what I was saying. I mean, to me, I know right away if the guy's going to be great or if he's not. I judged yesterday. We needed 8 guys. I didn't even think that 5 of them should have. I thought maybe 5 of them deserved to be in it. So I let them choose the rest. What I feel, what we feel, and what is the reality is just things that we have to be able to just let it be, and there's nothing we can do. It's difficult. You know, when I was younger, I felt a certain way, and I expressed myself. I verbally would say things that I didn't understand why other people were doing it, but I've come to the realization with my age that it doesn't even matter. These kids are going to learn what they're going to learn if they want to learn it. It's up to the school. The school has a responsibility to get a teacher that is valid in what his craft is. And I say this to people. When I did the UBC in Vegas in front of 26,000 people, I told everyone, I said, how many people know how to dance hip hop? And a lot of people went, wow. And I said, no, you don't. There's no such thing as a hip hop dance. The school has a responsibility to seek out a teacher. Now, if that teacher is going to teach pop-in, lock-in, break-in, top styles, rock dancing, that school has to be able to ask that person, well, who taught you? Where did you learn? There has to be some type of a historical significance so that when the parent brings in the kid, they're learning something. And when you get a teacher that has historical significance that also talks about it and doesn't just teach routines, you then have students that learn how to dance the way you're talking about, where they'll have more flavor, more feeling, more understanding, that you're not just learning a routine, that you're actually learning a warrior skill, which is very important. You know, you want to be a dancer, you want to shine in front of the director. I don't know how to do 100 head spins, but I guarantee you that with that director, he's going to definitely, he's going to know. I may look too old, I might not move like the other guy, but he'll remember me because of, you know, what I'm going to do. And that's because of the feeling and how I learned. So I say to those that just don't want to learn or just want to be a certain way, they're just going to be like that. There's nothing we can do. It's aggravating to watch them.
Isn't it? Yeah.
But the best thing to do is just, hey, that was great, and just move on and be around the people that you really have that connection with, that passion, like the videographer here with his socks on.
Mr. Freeze, how important is it to travel as a b-boy? If you have the opportunity, if you financially are, like if you have the finance to actually do travel. What do you think about that?
I think, you know, times have changed so much since I did what I did. You know, if you're talking about a b-boy to travel the world and go to events, if he can do it, I think it's fantastic. If that's what you want to do. I'm stuck on a question because...
No, I mean, like when it comes to, for example, like learning, like for me, when Wiggs told me, Naveed, if you wanna really feel it, you gotta visit New York. You know, you gotta see how people speak with their bodies in the subways. You gotta see how they speak in the streets. You know, you gotta smell hip hop, even though it's so commercialized today. But you still feel the essence of it. You know, when I went out to New York, I kind of understood why we do these things that we do with our hands, why we do pose, and why we do speak with our bodies, because it is a body expression that comes from an era that things were like that. You know, but I just want to know your opinion on it. Like, how important do you think it could be for b-boys or artists, hip-hop artists too?
I think it's great for the traveling, especially going to New York. You know, there's nothing like it. It's the birthplace of the culture. You know, I have other views of things because I've removed myself out of not the culture, but the industry, for instance. You know, I see things a lot differently. I unfortunately feel bad for the people that are in the culture because I know they want to know how it was, and you know, I understand how they were because we felt the same way. We get our shell-top Adidas, we made sure we were dressed right, and when we buy our clothes, we made sure that, you know, we do a little move to make sure it looked good. So I just think that those days are unfortunately gone. Like, I don't see it by going there, but you could feel the energy of New York. You know, if you spend a week there and you're struggling a little bit, you'll understand the feeling that there was. It's very difficult, you know, because those days are gone. The only thing I can, you know, is magazines and seeing old footage of New York. Like if you go on Facebook, it's old New York photos, and it shows great old pictures of grass, the train stations the way it used to be. That actually reminds me of back in the day. Very difficult to go to New York now and, you know, actually see a b-boy or a b-boy scene, because it's unfortunately non-existent. You guys have more events all over the world than there is in New York. Isn't that crazy? And when I went to Tokyo, I saw guys dressed like the way we used to dress in the 70s. It was amazing. It was beautiful.